just got to the job. We're gonna get ready for what we're gonna do today. You guys saw yesterday and the day before that, we already set all the footings on our nice little President's Weekend here. Everyone's, well, we're just private, so we're gonna be out here building away. But here's what we got going on today. This morning, what I'd like to do is get our frame in for our stairs, and also put in some hardware in our ledger right over here. But what I'd like to do is get these guys framed out. So my customers, they don't want to deal with a very big step, and for health reasons and safety reasons, we want to make these treads a little bit smaller. So this is not something you could buy at your Home Depot or your Menards or whatever the heck you're getting your stringers from. But this structural member is called a stringer right here. This little this guy right here. It's actually a 2x12. So what we're going to be doing is our run, where we're going to put our steps, is exactly 1 foot 2, which is 14 inches, and then our rise is extremely small too, 5 foot 9/16. That kind of changes here and there, but I'd like to make them exactly the same on the other side of the deck, so that when we go and put this together, it's going to have more continuity. Also, the ground slightly slopes this way, so it goes uphill this way and slopes that way. So our bottom of our deck is actually going to come in and kind of get entrenched into the ground, and we got to see where that actually ends up to make sure that we're not going to accidentally miss something there. All of these steps also have picture frames, so the edges, you don't see any edge grain at all. All you see is just straight up decking, right? No fascia, none of that. So we're going to be doing these picture frames in here, but we got a frame at 14 inches wide, and check in. Yep, 14 inches wide. Let's see what we had the tread at over here. 5.5. So 9/16. That was more of an estimation. I think my program was pulling off a different edge line there, but we're gonna go ahead and get that framed up this morning, and then we'll deal with this lower platform here in a second. But I would actually like to figure out where this elevation's gonna end up. I don't want the deck boards to be below the ground. That's gonna be quite an issue. So we'll get there, cross that bridge when we do. And yep. Whoa, hey bud, whoa. I'm just kidding. Just getting naked over here. Putting on our ATGs for the day. What's this?
Pre-used.
Pre-used, yeah.
Unwashed.
Pre-used. Oh, that's disgusting, dude.
Yeah.
That is nasty. Vincenzo always brings his second pair of clothes, isn't that right?
Yeah. I ain't gonna be in these all day.
Yeah. These are pretty cool, guys. These are Wrangler ATGs. I got longer legs. They happen to make these in 32 34s, and that's my size. And they are amazing. They're not quite hammer canvas, but they are doubled up. You see that? I got a hole in the front.
Double cheeked.
They're double cheeked. They're double cheeked here on the front, and then they also have your magazine pocket right over here. Conveniently holds a 13 Pro and a 14 Pro, so just an FYI. Right in there, and so you never actually have to go fish in your pocket for it. They got an extra spot for your tape measure right in there. Extra pocket for your knife right there. It clips right in. Milwaukee, I'm not gonna advertise anything else, but Milwaukee, it's got that on lock. But I extremely recommend a company that sells them. Go to Wilco. They also have these, Wilco Farm Store. And Fred Meyer's, which is they sell them for like $45, but I swear by these pants. I've got so many of them, and they are by far the best work pants I've ever had. So
Got me on tour.
Go get some. This is not sponsored by Wrangler, but would like to be. Wrangler ATG. Go get some, build some decks. Oh, jeez. Mine. Okay, we're gonna start doing these stairs. So, we're dealing with a bit of a slope from this level all the way over to this landing over here. but I already knew about that before designing the deck. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and frame out according to, you know, and I'm hoping like that this level here is the same, this level right in here, and this landing here is the same as the landing in the back over there. I'm pretty sure. I mean, if you pull a chalk line, and there's a little bit of a whoop-de-doo in there in the siding, but over the course of 35, 40 feet, a quarter inch or a half inch, you're not going to be able to see it. It looks pretty dang near perfect. Framing is not an absolute science, as everyone may know, or everyone in the framing industry knows. Not an exact science, and I take my time to go ahead and nail those in to perfection, and their job is super easy. So according to the plans, it's 5.5 inches deep each step. The height, the riser is 5.5, whatever the heck you want to call it. And then from the tread, we're hitting 14. 14 is the number I came up with just because a regular tread's actually 10. So we're getting an extra 4 inches off the top, this is pretty insane. It's actually a very large tread. A deck board is 5.5, and then the other deck board, right, is also 5.5, which brings us down to 9.5. So that leaves us like a 2-inch gap here, and that 2 inch to 1.5, you don't want to make it any less than 1 inch, or it's just going to snap in the future. That's my accent piece. That's what's going to be able to locate those steps so they can even see them in the dark. Never done a glow in the dark step, but if any of you guys have cool ideas and stuff, these are some brass knuckles. I call them brass knuckles. They're not actually that. They're hexagonal nuts that I set at 14 and 5.5. And you're going to go into your stack of 2x12s for your stringers and find your straightest guy. So I went ahead and found that. And I'm going to go ahead and locate my first one here. The first thing that you want to look for is knots. That's what changes the straight shape of your stringer. So just go ahead and find that, and put your triangle, right? Your triangle for your rise and run over your knot. Find some place you're going to cut it out. And when you cut it out, it'll help alleviate any sort of indiscrepancy there down the future. Sorry. I'm going to go ahead and find this guy real quick, and I found the knot. It's right there. I'm going to do a quick locator. No, that's too permanent, man. Did I just set down my pencil?
This guy's losing his pencil.
All right, back at it again. Found my first knot. I'm gonna go ahead and put a quick locator. I'm not actually gonna pull it all the way through. So I've located one of my steps, my potential steps, but I don't know how much, if I'm actually off or not. So I'm gonna go ahead and slide that up. Make sure my knuckles are in the right spot here. All right, you can see how much this is off by, but we're having some waste in here. And ideally, I do not want to waste. I actually want to bring this corner that I'm drawing in right now. I want this corner to be right here. So how much does that offset us? Enough that if we were to cut this, we could actually still cut out the majority of this. So I'm gonna go ahead and slide this guy all the way to the end here. And you can see that my other side is actually off the table. This is not good, because then now your first step is off. But I do know that I want my first end of my tread to go right here. That's usually your first indicator, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this back. I wanna put my first tread right there. Right there, we're nice and tight. Draw that in. We're gonna see how that lands up on or not. And usually have more than one knot, so, you know, go whoop-de-doo. See, we already cut through the majority of our first knot. So that's great. I'm gonna go ahead and line up my knuckle again. Now, I understand that there's much better ways to do this if you wanna use wood clamps or whatever the heck you wanna do. But I honestly prefer this because I'm always on the road. And this actually turns out to work very well. Do another one. Consistency is key. You want to make sure the same guy marking it is typically the same guy cutting. And I can tell you why here in just a sec. Okay, my other end is off the table. Bad news, Billy, right? No, no bueno. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and take my knuckles off. And you can honestly take your knuckles and you could actually hook that on the far side, just like this, and you'll get the same exact angle and it'll be parallel to this guy. I don't really like doing that just for a number of reasons, because the knuckle is different on the other side. Line her up. Right there. Perfect. We're locked in. Mark my end of my tread here. And my end of my tread is actually it's actually gonna be 5.5 inches. All right. 5.5 right there. So you carry that back, you then have your tread. However, I'm actually cool with just cutting this all the way off, and we'll worry about this later. Sometimes this actually plays into your posts a lot better, and I actually put a kicker board on the front of these guys too. So 1 step, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we made 6 out of 1 8-footer, which is perfect because we got to do 3 per. So we can actually get 2 treads. We get 2 stringers out of
2 left
1 board, right? So we can get a grand total of 8. I honestly don't like spacing stringers 24 on center. We might actually just go to the store and go get another one. So then we'll actually be spaced at 16 on center. So my mistake. We'll go get one more at the store and we'll get that all fitted out. But in the meantime, let's get cutting. We're just gonna square up this deck like we said yesterday. I intentionally didn't hop these brackets in just yet, just because we need to do some minor details. So you can see right here, I'm gonna go ahead and true up this side with a corner. And we got about 1/8 to spare over here. So that means that this side needs to go that way. There. Perfect. And I already checked the ledger and it's square with the house as well. So we are 100% square. We'll knock these suckers in, call it a day.
With like 1.25 inch nails.
Fire in, dude. Clean her up. Going right through this. Just doing this one for the gram. I'm just going to show you guys quick. You don't have stair hangers, the LUS that Simpson makes. They pull them out of circulation in certain places, so good luck finding them. this is a replacement idea here. So pretty much, here's your stringer. You want to attach your bracket right in here, right on the back side, because this part is in tension. Let me show you guys how to do this real quick. So you can use a 2x6 or a 2x8 bracket. You can use a 2x10, but it really depends on your riser, your height of your step. But all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come down to my foot right here on my stringer. I'm gonna come down 5 3/4 because this is a 2x6, 2x8 hanger. I'm gonna score my line right there. I'm gonna come down on the side here and mark in 2 inches. And mark in there. And then make a perpendicular cut right here. Up to 2 inches right there. And that'll make space for our hanger in here. You might say, well, Gabe, as soon as someone steps on this step, it's gonna crack right here. And I couldn't help but agree with you, because I just made a relief cut essentially. But let me show you how to avert that. All the way in, that's gonna help set our elevation with our hangers. Take it to number 10, 3-incher. Screw, manage that, but screws do really well in tension. So if we put a number 10, our score line is gonna be right there. So if it splits, it's gonna go right there. I'm gonna put a screw right through it. Not through the steel, but through the wood. And go ahead and sink it. So now I've got a piece of a screw in here. You can put 1 or 2, whatever fits your needs and stuff. But now I got 100% flat surface in here. And we're ready to mount. What? Okay, we're back from lunch. That was a little bit of a long one, but we got some of the things we want to do and who can carry more. And then I lost myself in arm wrestling match. I gotta get better at that. Yeah, I gotta get better at that. I gotta whoop them next time. So where we're at right now is we ran out of stringers. We left one as our template, and then we're gonna cut it out of an 8-footer. Get 2 of these guys, 2 more, so we can get 3 total in the middle of the 6-foot run. Little known fact, when you stretch more than 6 foot opening here, which this is 1/2 inch under 6 foot, or 1/4, so we fit in the guidelines. You need to have an intermediate handrail because it's like the walkway is too wide, you know? So we're gonna go ahead and cut those out. We're gonna knock that out real quick after Vinny gets done doing whatever the heck he's doing. And then we'll catch you up on the time lapse. Today was a long day. Let me show you what we have going on over here. So we went ahead and finished the stairs. That took a little bit longer than I expected. We finished out, but we didn't have enough lumber for the other side, all those stringers over there. So we went back to big box and went and got some lumber. However, necessarily to protect against vapor, it's more so plants. It's more of a landscaping fabric, if I'm being totally honest. We'll line this a little bit later here for this little box, but Vinny's going ahead and cleaning up. And we're gonna head out of here, and hopefully we'll get some nice weather tomorrow. I mean, I can't really say this is nice, but it's overcast, so as long as you're not beaten down. We are a little high over here, so we actually decided to carve that out a little bit and get it ready for some joists to go in. I'm gonna frame this bottom area at a 2x6. The rest of the landings are in 2x8, just because they're suspended much higher than the ground. But I think I'm gonna anticipate a little bit of carving going on over here, where we actually have to trench a little bit of dirt, because this side of the yard is much higher than this. In here, because I was trying to figure out, I want my deck boards to go this way, from here to there, lengthwise, with the stairs. But getting members in here that's properly going to be held up, I might even have to go the joist hanger route, and set like pretty much another ledger on the bottom, which is totally an option. I just haven't crossed that bridge yet. Every deck, it's not according to what the design had to the inch, but even some of the more complex jobs, this one I would probably give like a 3 or 4 out of 10. And in terms of difficulty, it's just a bunch of squares if you really think about it. But the house is not square, so I kind of have to play with that. And this line of ledger is not perpendicular to that ledger over there. We're taking our time on this deck. We're not really hurry, chop, 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 chop. But we're making progress, though. That's for sure. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and cut scene, and we'll see you guys tomorrow in the morning.